For 10 years we've been acting as the bridge between firstly Welsh Government and then Welsh Public Services, local government public service boards and others to help them to access independent advice, evidence, which can help them to know how best to tackle some of the big policy challenges that we have in Wales. What motivates us is wanting to make a positive difference to policy, to the way in which policy is delivered, because ultimately that has an effect on people's lives and on their well-being in communities here in Wales.
I've been struck at just how lucky we have been here in Wales to have had the WCPP, and I certainly hope that we in the Welsh Government are now even more aware than we ever have been that evidence itself is never a simple matter.
As the university, we really look forward to continue to work with the SRC, with the Welsh Government, with local government over the next 5 years to continue to build the centre's success and to learn from that success, to scale that success, to deliver on our collective ambitions for the Wales and the world.
So we've consulted very widely, particularly with local public services, and we've asked them what it would be most useful for us to work on with them. And 3 big priorities have emerged very strongly. So we'll be focusing a lot of our effort on the question of how do you tackle inequalities? How can we realistically move towards net zero when there's very little public spending available to address that issue? We'll be looking at what other countries have done and seeing how we can learn the best ways to produce a just transition here in Wales. And thirdly, building on the work we've previously done on social isolation, loneliness and animated communities, we're going to have a strong focus on community well-being and how policymakers can support that.
I believe local government is a foundation and a bedrock for our communities, and so much of public policy affects what we do and how we do it. Much of the work and research the centre has done touches very much on the functions and things the councils deliver, with the aim of informing policy and service developments, identifying actually what good looks like, which sometimes is hard for local authorities sometimes to address. The promotion of best practice is something that's key in terms of sharing best practice across local authorities and public sector, and we very much welcome and look forward to continuing the work that we've started.
We've had a very good relationship initially with Welsh Government ministers and then over time with ministers and civil service special advisors here in the Senedd. But that's then led to a real interest in local government and other local public services in working with us in a similar way so that they too can access evidence from research which enables them to develop good policies at local level.
We are an independent group. We've been set up by the Welsh Government and Plaid Cymru under a cooperation agreement. The evidence that underpins our work is absolutely critical. All the areas that we've decided to focus on, the big emission reduction areas in terms of transport or connections, in terms of energy and buildings, in terms of food, in terms of education and the future of work, they are producing independent research evidence supported by a range of academics to respond to our calls for evidence.